with the Soviet Union victorious by a score of 4-3 Thursday in Quebec. On behalf of the entire...
We went through a lot of different formations, and I can tell you right now they're going to be ready to play this game regardless of their travel schedule.
Of the 6-game series between the Soviet All-Stars and the 6 NHL clubs. And now to introduce the starting lineups. First, for the Soviet All-Stars, in goal, number 1, Vladimir Mishkin. On defense, number 2, Vyacheslav Fedosov. And number 7, Alexei Kazatonov. On the left wing, number 11, Igor Larionov. On the right wing, number 10, Alexander Maltsev. And at center ice, number 9, Vladimir Krutov. And now the starting lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. In goal, number 35, Andy Moog. On defense, number 22, Charlie Huddy. And number 7, Paul Coffey. On the left wing, number 12, Dave Hunter. On the right wing, number 17, Yari Curry. And at center ice, number 99, Wayne Gretzky. At this time, Captain Vyacheslav Fedosov of the Soviet All-Stars and Captain Wayne Gretzky of the Edmonton Oilers will exchange gifts at center ice.
The officials, Andy Van Hellemond is the referee, and Swede Knox and Randy Mitten are the line stations. To rise in a series such as this. Is the first goal that important?
I wouldn't think so, Don. I have a feeling that we're going to see several confidence to have him in the net for this hockey game. He feels that an injustice has been served here, Joe, 22. And, of course, the Edmonton team, only 20. What do you think?
Well, I feel that they're over here to begin right here at the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, Alberta. Igor Larionov skates to center ice against the great Gretzky. And it's underway. Gretzky winning the draw. Into the Soviet zone. Puck is left there by Hunter. And now Coffey back in the Edmonton zone. Across to Coffey again. Passing to an open wing. Gretzky digs against Fedosov for it. Mishkin has to steer it aside. Gretzky almost came up with the puck. And then Alexei Kasatonov for the Soviets works it up to center ice. That's how they break so quickly. 2-on-1 now. Closing in. Here's Maltsev, and the glove saved by Andy Moog.
Maltsev's fast shot. Andy Moog is tested early in the hockey game. A 2-on-1 break. The Edmonton Oilers caught up the ice. As we look at the shot, number 10 as he rips it away to the left side.
Maltsev did not have the best angle. He was squeezed off to the right, didn't have much net to shoot. The Oilers change. It'll be Messier moving in for this one, and he wins the draw. Traditionally, the Soviets, if they have a weakness, it is on face-offs, although they have improved in recent years. Don Jackson in the corner, the Edmonton defense player, trying to work it free up to Messier. The Soviets detaining it in there now. The shot is high, gloved by Moog anyway. He fans on it in behind. Here is Shepelev trying to center it out. He cannot make a play. Jackson works it up the boards, but the Soviets, with good, persistent forechecking, keep that puck in play in the Edmonton zone. It is shot down the ice, will not go for icing, as Vasily Pervukin has it for the Soviet Union. Ahead to Kapustin, one of the Soviet veterans, number 8. Right side, the relay coming back. 3 passes on the play and a weak deflected shot rolling past Moe. Here is Messier for the Oilers. Into Soviet territory, the pass, the shot deflected into the crowd off the stick of Vladimir Mishkin, who will tell you again is playing for the ailing.
Going back to 1976 when we played them, they weren't pitching that well than I remember, but they certainly are now. There's Glenn Slater, the Oilers coach.
You saw that hit that Linsman threw in the Soviet player Gamea. Oilers right on top of that puck, dribbling it down near Michigan's doorstep. But Fedosov, perhaps the best Soviet defenseman, clears it very nimbly. In they come on Mogo. Weak shot he handles easily. Back for Fedosov, who sails in from the point, then lost control, and it's poked back to center by Pozar of Edmonton. The Soviets just keep on coming. Squeezed off on the boards with Schwartzov. Around to the far side it comes, now in behind. Oiler player missed the check in there as Fedosov, the defense player, is right behind the Edmonton goal. They jam for it now, trying to force the face-off. NHL players, of course, feel they can win most face-offs against the Soviets. They don't mind giving them up in their own zone. Pass too far at center ice for Pozar. Pozar gets a chance now in the left corner. Skates in there against Fedosov as they bump for it. Pozar gets a stick on it, but coming up with it for the Soviets is Zlutkov. And Zlutkov out at center ice sends Schwartzov away. 1-on-2, he drops it back. Still no shot. Very tight defensive coverage by the Oilers. And on that occasion, it was shot out by Dave Lumley. One more time, the Soviets inside the Edmonton line. No great shots on goal either way so far. They do jam that one and tie it up for a face-off. The NHL Soviet Series 8, about 3.5 minutes gone here in the first period. The Soviets' top line, centered by Igor Larionov on the ice now. Linsman wins the draw easily. And saw him dig it back into his own corner. Now the Oilers break fast to center ice. The pass hopped over Linsman's stick. Little Letvanov for the Soviet Union. He can't clear it out. Pass across to Dave Hunter. Back to the right point. Still inside the Soviet zone. Linsman feeds it there. The shot, a good save by Mishkin. The backup Soviet goalie, the best chance for the Oilers so far today. Rudolph skates hard into the board. Dumped in there by number 29, Don Jackson, and there's no further play. In fact, there's going to be the first penalty of the game.
Corner, Don, as we watch him through the center ice area. There's Jackson playing him fine there, but he went too far to his left. Jackson from behind pulls the feet out from underneath them into the boards heavily. Number 9, Krutov.
Penalty at the 4:06 mark of this first period. It's a scoreless game at the Northlands Coliseum. And the awesome Soviet power play goes into effect for the first time. Messier on the faceoff for Edmonton. Larionov got the draw. Rolls to the corner, but promptly for the Oilers. Here comes Mark Messier out to center ice. Left side for Linsman. Linsman closing in, drops it back for Messier. Shoots and it's wide of the goal. A good chance, short-handed there for Edmonton. Here come the Soviets. Larionov across to the veteran Maltsev. Maltsev can't get around Kevin Lowe. He shoots it off to the left boards, but held it to the point for the Soviets. Krutov, number 9, for Maltsev. Back for Maltsev. The Soviets take all kinds of time. Wait for the perfect play. Maltsev skates to the face-off circle. Back on that point once again. The slap shot blocked by Mold. From the stick of Kazatanov. Cleared near the blue line. And finally out to center ice off one of the linesmen by the Edmonton Oilers. Still have a minute to go in the Oilers penalty to Jackson for triple. It is shot down behind the Soviet goal as the Oilers change on the move. Kazatanov for Larionov. Again, this play forming slowly. The Soviets would prefer to take it back unless they have the ideal situation. Give up ice rather than have an improper play start for them. Now they have it going their way they feel. At the blue line. Skating inside. Digging it back on the point to the right side now. Here is the slap shot. Deflection missed by number 8, Kapustin. Still inside that zone for Vasiliev. Now back to Gamayev. Gamayev's deflected shot lazily drifts over top of the Edmonton goal. And Paul Coffey fails to clear. Sergei Kapustin back on the left point. Here's Fedosov's weak pass going nowhere. It's dug back for Gamayev. Fedosov again. Into the slot. The shot bounds up into the crowd. With just 4 seconds to go in the Oilers penalty.
Good penalty killing.
Around him back at the point. He makes a lot of good plays.
And the point I made, too, I think is worth noting again. They will back up if they have to get that play. They'll go all the way behind their own net and take all the time in the world.
Right. I think they try to work a 3-and-2. You know, that's what they try to do.
They want the edge on you, right? No score. 4 seconds, Ed Westfall told you, left in Jackson's penalty. The Oilers have all but killed it. Soviets still have the puck at the blue line. Finally, it hops up. Oilers back at full strength now. Anderson hops on as Jackson skates right to the Edmonton bench. Soviets being backed up once again. Now they come forward haltingly at the Edmonton blue line. LaRiviere has the pass picked up by his stick over to Lowe. The relay around the boards. Messier feeds it back for Kevin Lowe to Messier with Lindsman and Anderson. Inside they go. Anderson shoots wide. Vasiliev for the Soviets. Dumps it out in front dangerously. It is shot just beside the face-off circle. Finally cleared back by the Soviets into center ice. Gretzky steps back on the ice. Circling there, flips it down the left boards for Anderson to chase in against Gamayev. Semenko could not get his pass away as he fell. And now at center ice, it is the Soviet Union's Vasiliev coming in. Works the right corner, swings around the net. Finally dumps it back to the point. The slap shot is a mile wide from Bilyatsidov. In behind the goal, number 21 is Randy Gregg. Soviets, good containment there, keeping it inside, rolling it in front. Gregg now gets a chance to clear, and they do. Right side for Gretzky at center. Semenko. Mishkin gets his stick on it, pokes it away from him to Gretzky. And Gretzky's pass is too far. Here's a breakdown. Breakaway for the Soviets. In they go. Number 29 got him cleanly. Kochevenikov right on top of Andy Moe. Gretzky's shot is just wide off that left post. Kept in by Yari Curry. A great chance there, not enough wood on that shot by Curry. Bilyatsidov for the Soviet Union. His pass too far ahead at center. Pozar now for Edmonton, the Czechoslovakian player. Has to leave it there. Oilers gaining momentum as the game goes on. A hard ride stopped by Mishkin from the stick of Randy Gregg, the defenseman. Down goes the Soviet player under Pozar in the corner, and that also drifts just wide. They approach the 9-minute mark in a scoreless first period here. And it's whistled down on the outside at the blue line of the Edmonton Oilers.
Save. Let's take a look. Edmonton caught napping. They're in pursuit. Kochevenikov all alone on Andy Moe. Good opportunity, good stop. And Edmonton has had quite a lift off the save by their goaltender.
Indeed they have. Kazatanov for the Soviet Union gave the puck away. Here's a shot wide and high by Dave Hunter. Great scoring chance there for the Oilers. Deflection in front. Lindsman can't poke it in. Fedosov now, the anchor of that defense, gets it across to Kazatanov. Still inside the Russian zone. Finally, it clears to center ice for them. But the Soviets under extreme pressure there. Bumping on the boards. They'll tie it up for a face-off at the Soviet bench. With 10:36 to play in period number 1.
Good opportunity for the Edmonton Oilers after Moog had made a good stop off Kochevenikov. Look at the penalty. Wow. Hunter with a high stick on number 11, Larinov. No call.
Play underway again with Kevin Lowe shooting it in. Digs after it inside the Soviet zone. In behind the net. It's jumped right out in front. Hops over 2 Oilers sticks. Now the Soviets get a 2-on-1 break. Here is Shalimov shooting. Blocked smartly by the defenseman Riviere, sliding to block the drive. Gamaya drips it in. That is blocked by number 20, Lumley. So a lot of sliding defensive Oiler players making some big plays right there on that series. And icing is called against the Oilers. 10 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the first period. And here's the story on Pozar, of course, from Czechoslovakia. He has played the Soviets many times before. It is Don Chevrier, Eddie Westfall, Joe Watson, Bernie Pascal. The Oilers coming on toward the middle part of this period, which now has reached the halfway point. It is scoreless. The Soviets nothing, the Edmonton Oilers nothing. Mark Messier. You saw Shepelev holding the Edmonton player's stick on that exchange. Right in front. Here's the shot. It's the goal number 1, and the Oilers take the lead. Anderson getting his stick on it out in front and just getting it across the goal line behind Michigan.
Right from the face-off. Glenn Anderson halfway through the first period, since Andy Vogue had stopped the breakaway by Kochenikov. Edmonton has been coming on strong. Let's look at the goal being set up. Pass out in front by Messier, and Anderson finishes it off, and it's in behind Michigan, 1-0, Edmonton.
And number 21, Randy Gregg.
Messier and Randy Gregg get the assist, and here comes Messier again inside the Russian zone, but Fetisov is there to break that up. He sends Lutkov inside the Edmonton blue line. Chance to the right side, right in front. The pass from Sportsov. There's nobody home. Now Gregg bumping in the corner. Hapside can't get it. Rolls in front of the goal again, and on the left side it is Messier. Messier sending Gregg away. The relay on the right side to Anderson inside the Soviet line. Messier just not there quite in time. That relay in front of the Soviet goal. 8 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first period. The long shot, Moe kicks 10 rows high here at the Northlands Coliseum. Face-off coming up. We await the face-off in the Edmonton zone. The Oilers on Glenn Anderson's goal at 10:28 have taken a 1-goal lead over the Soviets. Larionov on the draw against Ken Linsman. It is left in the circle for the Soviets. The weak pass picked up by Paul Coffey, who shoots it promptly out to center ice. The relay down right on Michigan, who gloves it. Skates back into his crease to force a stoppage in play.
So many times you wonder whether a good save really makes that much difference. Michigan has been fairly sharp for the Soviets.
Well,
I'd have to wonder a little about that, John. I saw him this morning. I saw him again in the warm-ups, and he, as I mentioned before, he didn't seem to be bothered. Didn't seem to not take anything. Took his regular shift.
Pat Hughes couldn't keep it in. Coffey has trouble in center ice. Soviets Maltsev finally backhands it down and then takes a belt on the boards from Hughes. Rolling dangerously in front, but Linsman's there for the Oilers. Somenko across to Coffey. Coffey inside the line. Coffey shoots. Michigan steers that aside. Alexander Maltsev. Long lead pass trying to give Krutov the break at center ice. Instead, a wicked slap shot from number 22 of the Oilers, Charlie Huddy. Too far for Maltsev. Curry clears it back. Now Coffey has it. And the Oilers, Soviet style, go behind their net to make some player changes and gather up some momentum. Gretzky on the ice. Feeds it in the slot. No chance of a play there for Yari Curry. Kevin Lowe with Riviere back on defense. It is shot to the line for Gretzky. 2-on-1. Gretzky's pass. And just wide of the goal went Dave Somenko. Went a bit too far. But a pretty play set up by Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky overskates it this time. Babinov beating it up the boards for the Soviets. 7:15 to play in the first period. 1-0 Edmonton. Larionov. Here's a chance. Hold, stop one, blocks the rebound, and it's finally a whistle down play as Riviere falls on it right in front of the Oiler goal. A close call for the Soviets.
Larionov, Igor Larionov, Central Army, started the play through center ice. Forces the Edmonton defense back in. Look at the passing here by the Soviets. Over to number 9, Krutov. There's the shot by...
Alexei Kazatanov plays for the Red Army, just 23. 25 national team games for the Soviet Union squad.
One of the bigger players at 6 foot. Not that many 6-foot players on the Soviet team. We've seen larger or taller and heavier Soviet teams.
But not necessarily faster, because speed has become their trademark, although not in abundant evidence tonight. The Oilers certainly skating with them and skating well. Here's Bozar getting it ahead across the blue line. Number 14, Laurie Boschman, the former Toronto Maple Leaf, on the ice for the first time, could not control it. He's against Fedosov now. Calmly, Fedosov digs it across the left side. Inside the line they go. There's a shot wide of the net by Skvortsov. Back it comes down to the Soviet zone. Icing waved off on the play. 4 minutes and 48 seconds to go in period 1. Edmonton, on Anderson's goal at the midway mark, leads it 1-0. Soviets again caught on the offside over the Edmonton blue line.
Some good chances as we look at this.
Joe Watson and Ed Westfall with me here in the booth. You'll be hearing from Lou Nanny, our analyst between periods, with Bernie Pascal, as this first period is drawing to a close. Just over 4 minutes to go, and the Oilers on top by a single goal. That's scored by Anderson at 10:28. But the Soviets being pinned in more now and contained to their half of center ice more consistently this half of the period by the Edmonton Oilers. Oh, Coffey, the defenseman, has it, number 7. Lobs it down to the right corner. Comes around to the opposite side as they bump along the boards for possession. Messier coming up with it, and it's stolen away by Gamayev. Lowe keeps it in. His shot blocked off the leg of an Edmonton player. The Soviets love that fast break at center, but the Oiler defensemen were both well back in time. Another chance for the Soviets now. Larionov in behind the net. Fast in front by Krutov. Nobody there. So the Soviets getting their break, but only sending one man forward, not 2 or 3 as we've seen in previous years. Anderson makes the check on the board. Here's Habside in for Messier. Loose puck still in front of the goal. Mishkin can't find it. It's finally shot to the point for the Riviere. His drive blocked by Mishkin. 2 great chances there. Delayed Soviet penalty in effect. And finally called by referee Andy Van Helleman.
A holding penalty to the Soviet Union gives Edmonton their first power play of the hockey game. Exactly 17 minutes gone here in the first period. To the penalty box. Pervukin, Red Army defenseman, 29 years old, draws the first penalty.
At 17 minutes, so for 2 of the 3, barring further infractions or a goal, the Oilers will have some heat conceivably going on the Soviet Union here. Previously, the one Edmonton penalty did not result in many dangerous chances for the Soviets, who trail 1-0 in the hockey game. Gretzky is on the point for the power play. Digs it off of the right circle relay, and Gretzky shoots, hits the goal post, far side. Great scoring chance for number 99 there. Here's Huddy. Anderson, his relay, blocked by Fedosov, but Coffey's there to contain it. Anderson for Messier. Loose puck picked up by the Soviets. Fedosov calmly gets it ahead and down the ice. 1:25 left. It's Pervukin's penalty as the Oilers form up once again with Wayne Gretzky across to Coffey. Coffey shoots it in. Gretzky after it. Mishkin way out. Falls on it once. Covers it up finally. A good 7-8 feet out of his crease.
Vladimir Mishkin out. He wants to hold the puck. He's afraid to do it. Andy Van Helleman, you see here now, telling him, can't do that. You've got to release the puck.
I think he knew it too, and he took his hand off it, then put it back on.
He was waiting for one of the Edmonton Oilers to get close.
Great chance by Gretzky earlier.
Anderson fights in front of the net. Gretzky comes in. Watch the lower right-hand side, the goalpost. Gretzky unleashes the shot right off the goalpost. Clearly, he had Vladimir Mishkin, the goaltender for the Soviets, beaten.
So the Oiler lead is still 1 with 1:16 left in Pervukin's penalty for holding. Kasatonov fires it all the way down. Moog stops it beside his goal for Gretzky. A minute left in the penalty and 2 minutes remain in this first period. Here's Gretzky in for Huddy. Huddy left side, dumps it in front. Loose puck in there, they jam away. Mishkin down on his knees to block it.
Well, there we have Kenny Linsman in there. By gosh, you're always going to find Kenny around a big pileup, and He went for the net very well there, and a pass from, I believe it was, here we are at the replay here by Huddy. Charlie Huddy made a fine pass over, and Kenny Linsman, as you see, is right in front of the net.
Got the backhand shot away. Forced Michigan to make the save again. Edmonton has been coming on strong.
Ball is now Linsman on the draw. Wins it. This is Coffey over on the far side. Digs it back for Gretzky on the point. Gretzky waiting across to Huddy. Huddy down beside the net. Right back to Gretzky, trying to set him up too far back. Gretzky has to make a desperate play to keep it in. Rolling it in behind the net for Babinov. Coffey cannot contain it. Comes all the way back. A foot race now. Coffey getting there to tie up the Soviet player coming on to the puck. He brings it back to Edmonton. 25 seconds and the Soviet penalty remain. Nice stick handling by Coffey, who fed it back, but it was blocked for the Soviets and shot all the way back down the ice. 15 seconds now on the Soviet penalty. Just over a minute of playing time in the period. Here's Kevin Lowe getting an opening left side, booms it off the glass in behind. Yari Curry. Down for Laurie Boschman. Oilers changing on this long power play. Penalty is now over. A chance to slide of the goal, and Michigan is there as the Oiler player just banned on it.
Wayne Gretzky, what an opportunity. Opportunities he usually does not miss. Standing all alone to the left of Vladimir Mishkin, goaltender of the Soviet Union. As we take a look at the play, Boschman across. Look at that good opportunity missed by number 99, Wayne Gretzky.
If you notice in the power play, Edmonton,
Bozar is moving into the faceoff.
I was going to say, Don, a young team generally a little anxious in a game such as this.
You bet. Bozar with it in the corner, being checked there, knocked down by a high stick by Chalimont, and finally out over the blue line. Right on it, they wave. No offside on the play. Just 40 seconds to go here in this first period. The Oilers and Anderson's goal leading 1-0. And the Oilers looking very, very strong in the second half of this first period against the national team of the Soviet Union. One more attempt for the Soviets now with 20 seconds to go as they work it down across the blue line right side. Sergei Kapustin circles the net. Works it over on the left boards, being watched there. Does not make a good play. Bozar gets it out at center ice. Now jacks it across the blue line, leaves it there. A shot blocked by Michigan from the point by Bozar, and that is going to do it for the first period of the first of 6 games between the National Hockey League and the Soviet Union. Glenn Anderson at 10:28 with the only goal.
Итак, музыкальная пауза.
So cool. Normally, I'm not a fool, but I fell in love on Rhodos. That is could happen to me. I heard him play on the beach, and I was lost in a 1, 2, 3. Never listen to a bouzouki player. If you want fall in love, never listen to a bouzouki player. A, B, C, so simple like that. Go 1, 2, 3. If I to metal Sataki, that's what he played and why I stayed. Yeah. Never listen to a bouzouki player. No, no, no. Never listen to a bouzouki player. No, 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 no. Hey, 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 hey.
Obviously, the Russians are going to have to change a little of their game plan. I think you're going to see the forwards back in a little deeper. Lou Nanny pointing out that the forwards were stagnant. They were standing still, too high up on the boards, looking for a breakaway. It doesn't come that often.
Larionov wins the draw for the Soviets to begin the second period. Alexei Kasatonov at his own blue line, having difficulties. The puck rolls in there. Now it is set ahead for Vladimir Krutov. He was checked as the Oilers missed their opportunities as well. Kasatonov shoots it down. The puck deflected to the doorstep of Andy Moog. Very steady. Made some outstanding saves. Not as many as Michigan had to handle, however, in the first period for the Soviets. For the Soviets, here is Krutov coming in. He was headed off nicely on that side as he tried to make his play. Oilers trying to break as quickly as the Soviets have done. Get it to the blue line, but no further as the USSR dumps it back into the Edmonton zone. Here is Maltsev in behind the goal, being bumped right in front. Did not get a good shot, had just one hand on the stick. Play a little disorganized here in the early seconds of period number 2. Now Maltsev for the Soviets bumped on the boards. Tries to leave it for Krutov. In behind the Edmonton goal, it's sent out to Gretzky. He missed a couple of glorious scoring chances back in that first period, one by the side of the net. Shalimov for the Soviets, a crossover Kapustin's stick. Back for Fedosov. He was stick checked. Gretzky pokes it all the way back to center ice. Sergei Kapustin closing in, right side, swings it in front, and down went number 21, Shepelev, getting only 1/10 of the puck on his stick. Comes across to the Soviet zone again. Semenko lost the race for it there. Shalimov passed it across, and he's shot in by Kasatonov offside for a face-off.
Inside, got the shot away.
They're on one-on-one against the Soviets.
Shepelev sends it ahead off the face-off and then carries on with it inside the Edmonton blue line. Backhands it beside Moog, left behind the goal. Still in behind the Edmonton goal, and Charlie Huddy succeeds in getting it down the ice this time. But the Soviets certainly having no field day against the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Now they get a good break. Coming across the line is Shalimov. The pass, the shot blocked by Moog. The drive from Sergei Shepelev, number 21.
It's only the second shot the Soviet Union have had here in the second period. So far, Edmonton hasn't had one. Let's take a look at the shot as he turns, finds himself right in front of the net. Number 21, Sergei Shepelev, is standing still, just moving the puck.
I would think so. Soviets show their real speed when at full strength. They try to engineer those center ice breaks, sending 2-on-1 if they can get it. They have had little success tonight except for one breakaway attempt that Moog was equal to. That was a 1-on-1. Kapustin leaves it for Babinov in front of the Soviet goal. And now he sends Shepelev across the Edmonton blue line as he digs it down in behind. Bumping for it there. Huddy going down on top of the puck. The Soviets coming up with it. Back on the point for Babinov. His shot a mile wide. And Semenko deflects it ahead for Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky waiting for help. Relays it across to Curry. But it hops back to center ice. Kapustin jammed off into the corner by a falling defender, Charlie Hiddy. And then Gretzky came in and shot it down the ice. So the Oilers withstood that shortage of manpower quite nicely. Still have their 1-0 lead. And now here's a chance, breaking in wide at the goal. A great chance for the Oilers for their 1-0 lead. That was Mark Messier just missing it. Another chance. They come in once again. The shot blocked. Rebound for number 9, Anderson. Messier with 2 scoring attempts. Gretzky has it in there. He's taken down. The Soviet player drops the stick. No penalty is called on the play. Babinov for Vasiliev. Passes to an open left side. In front, here's the shot. Anderson, oh, Michigan stuck his leg out. Anderson couldn't complete the play. Almost a second goal for Glenn Anderson right there. Soviets looking a little harried at times, and the Oilers take the pressure to them. Oilers a bit unlucky in not finishing those plays into goal. Offside, Messier carrying it in on the right side, so with 13:18 to play.
Wayne Gretzky takes a little bit of a dive. Andy Van of New Hampshire.
Larionov again wins the draw. An impressive Soviet centerman he is to Maltsev, the veteran. Maltsev cuts right in front of the goal. Left it there. Oilers' Lindsman picks it up, and they bring it out of harm's way. Here is Lindsman across the Soviet blue line, drifting it in, but it's shot quickly out again by the USSR. They jam it there for a face-off near the Edmonton bench. Mitnoff is chased out of there by the linesman, and Vladimir Krutov takes over and shoots it down inside the Edmonton blue line. Kevin Lowe cross to Hughes. Now back to Lowe again. Not out. Intercepted there. Soviets getting a chance. Oilers scrambling to cover, and they do get it back to center. Fedosov has to recover in there. Almost a break for the Oilers, but number 12, Dave Hunter, cruising in. Huddy from center shoots it high and hard, and Michigan gloves it easily. A lot of long passes up and down the ice. Here is Huddy now playing it ahead. No Oiler in position. So the Soviets, Maltsev takes over. With Krutov back to Fedosov. He shoots wide. Gretzky digs it out. Oilers bring it back. They're 3-on-2 now as they hit the Soviet blue line. Here is Somenko giving it up to Mariana, and the Soviets now have a chance, but it sails too far as Charlie Huddy is there to cover up. Around for Dave Somenko. Gretzky tips it, leaves it there for Curry. Now Curry inside the blue line with Somenko. Trying to feed it, was taken down on the play. There'll be a penalty called against the Soviets, and it'll go into force right now.
Curry in pursuit of the puck, and you see number 7, Alexei Kasatonov. Pull him down, gets a tripping penalty right there. No question about it. So the Edmonton Oilers.
What really made that play there was the second and third effort by Curry, and he forced the Soviet player to take him down.
So again, the Oiler power play will go into action here. With a 1-goal lead as we approach the midway part of the second period, the midway part of the hockey game. Soviets clearing it back inside the Edmonton zone. Here's Paul Coffey coming up with it. Coffey swings across the ice to the right side for Anderson. Anderson has it inside the blue line. Works it down to the corner. Coffey bringing it back out to the point. From Messier back to Coffey. Gretzky could not connect on the relay by the side of the goal. Glenn Anderson takes a funny bounce, comes out of the Soviet stick, and they finally clear it down the ice. Soviets changing on the go now. Still a minute to go, and the power play advantage for the Oilers. Anderson leaves it for Gretzky. Gretzky getting set, can't get a backhand shot away. Fades off to the boards. Now fakes the shot, lets it go.
Wayne Gretzky finds the mark, the lower left-hand corner on a fine shot. His teammates screening in front of Mishkin, the goaltender. Here's Gretzky. Watch the magician with the feet, the stick, the head up. Waits, moves in, takes a good look, lets go with the shot. Look at in front of the net. There it is in the lower left-hand corner. Glenn Anderson, watch him in front of Mishkin as he screens Mishkin, trying to get out of the way of the shot. There it is, and it's in 2-0 Edmonton.
Yes. Well, that's the patience we talked about earlier on the power play that did pay off for the Oilers that time, as Gretzky took all the time he had and made the puck look as though it had eyes going in there. Oilers with the play inside the Soviet zone once again. Bozar cannot contain it there. And it's back at center ice for Lumley. Lumley brings it in. 2-0 Edmonton now. To Laurie Boschman. Boschman jams it at the goal post. Off out of the boards once again. Soviets looking a little hairy now in their own zone. Under considerable pressure from this Edmonton team. Playing well here at home. Here's Jackson's slap shot wide. Gregg fires it in behind the net for Lumley. Jackson again keeping it in for the Oilers. Lumley batting it down. Soviet player moving in, leaves it in front. And the shot by Boschman blocked by the Soviet defense. But still inside that blue line. Gregg turns and wheels. That's blocked by number 14, Vidyaletana. Finally, the Soviets get some breathing room. Play is whistled down. There'll be a face-off at the blue line inside of the Oilers.
Wayne Gretzky scores the goal. Look it in front as Anderson tries to get out of the way, doing a double job. Screening Mishkin.
So Anderson and Gretzky have scored for the Oilers. Messier has 2 assists, Anderson a goal and 1 assist. That last goal, Gretzky from Messier and Anderson at 10:24. And the Oilers lead 2-0 over the Soviet Union. Here's Havshai now losing it at the Soviet blue line. This is Coach Venikov waiting in front for the pass. They still have control. The shot by number 26, Schwartzoff, is blocked. And Havshai brings it out for Edmonton to Anderson. Anderson is impressive as any Oiler on the ice tonight. Caught by Michigan as it drifts down on his doorstep. And there'll be a face-off in the Soviet zone with 7:45 to play in the period. Victor Zubkov.
I'd like to get him in Minnesota, from what I understand.
You got it right there.
Well, maybe not quite old enough to have a chance of it. Has his team in a 2-goal deficit situation right now. 6:20 to play in the second period. Huddy blasts it in high and wide of the Soviet goal. Sergei Kapustin fails to clear against Curry. Gretzky circles the goal, still has it. Tries to dump it across the slot. Here's a break. Kapustin streaking down on a breakaway. Huddy trying to contain him. He scores! Soviets' first goal on a breakaway by Sergei Kapustin.
Boy, did he ever take off there. Holy mackerel.
The Edmonton Oilers make a mistake, and the Soviet Union capitalize as number 8, Sergei Kapustin, breaks away. Charlie Huddy, 22 in pursuit. Gretzky is to the right, also behind him, pulls the puck to the forehand, and in behind Andy Moog with a quick wrist shot to score 2-1.
Now for the Soviets, Gerasimov into the corner. Comes to the cross in front. Soviets getting a new lease on life now. The backhand shot by Gerasimov is blocked by Moog. And the Oilers bring it back. So Kapustin gets the goal, the 14-minute mark, to give the Russians new life. And in they come once again. Loose puck there, bouncing in front of Moog, picked up by Gretzky. Bykov made the play for the Soviets. Now Gretzky works his way free to center ice. Against Kezitanov on the far side, giving him lots of room. Now he leads the puck right there with the Soviet Union. 2-1 the Oilers. And the Soviet player, Kapustin, looked like a drag racing car leaving its mark as he streaked down on Moog. Moog will have to handle this long shot. Gary LaRiviere quickly ahead to center ice for the Oilers. Jamming on the boards is Anderson. For Havshai in behind the goal. Digs it out in front. Nobody home for the white jerseys. The Soviets bring it back. Schwartzoff leaves it. The shot partially blocked by LaRiviere. Schwartzoff again in behind, shot wide of the goal. Here's Fetisov getting it free. Another slap shot is wide, and Moog on the rebound gloves it. Number 12, Gamayev, had a wide open shot, but missed it.
The Soviet Union, number 12, Gamayev, let's go from the blue line, wide of the net. Good camera shot from right behind Andy Moog. And the puck come right back out. Moog grabbed it, stopped the play. That's where we're at.
Messier wins that faceoff smartly. at the Soviet line. Drops it back for Habscheid. Can't get a shot away. Babinov clears beside his own goal. Habscheid hustling back there now, falling. Lost control. Babinov. Back at center ice. Moe coming out to cut down the angle. Larionov stopping. Still has it. Shoots quickly. Rebound. Still loose in front and covering up the goal.
Good opportunity for the Soviet Union as Andy Moog ends up with the puck. They've been putting pressure on. Let's look at some of the pressure. Soviet Union in Edmonton's end of the ice. Larionov takes the shot. Stopped by Moog. There's the rebound as number 9, Krutov, tries to knock it home unsuccessfully. Soviet Union getting opportunities they didn't get earlier.
16 save. Shepelev leaves it there. Kevin Lowe failed to clear. Kapustin, he had his shot blocked by a sliding LaRiviere. From the point, Fetisov, booming drive, sails wide. And now here is Hughes at center ice. Across the blue line, in behind Linsman. Fetisov for the Soviets. Brings it back inside the Edmonton line. Just over a minute to play in period 2. And they'll jam it there for a face-off in Oiler territory.
The Soviet Union pressing again. Edmonton allowing them the room to...
You think back earlier how Gretzky right now and the Oilers would like that goalpost shot back, and then the next night, New Year's Eve in Montreal for the Montreal Canadiens. And this one.
But now is the time when it could be helpful.
That'll take care of the second period indeed, and we'll watch for that because the Soviets always seem to have more legs than anybody else in the third period. Those 2 extra bodies could indeed be a big factor in their favor. So a goal apiece in this period. Gretzky giving the Oilers a 2-0 lead at 10:24, and then Sergei Kapustin on that.
Смотрю на снег летящий, он холодный, он хрустящий, и земля вокруг белым-бела. В город наш пришли метели, закружили, завертели, в этой снежной карусели нас любовь нашла. Мети, метель, еще сильнее мети, и снегу столько не проехать, не пройти. Уйдет зима за 30 земель, у нас в сердцах останется метель навсегда. Навсегда у нас в сердцах останется метель.
I may have miscounted. There's Tretiak, number 20, giving some assistance at the goal.
He certainly doesn't look like he's under the weather there too much, does he, Eddie? He doesn't have
he doesn't. It's
thermometer in most. He doesn't have a towel around his neck.
Well, Lou Nanny just popped in and said that he's counted 20 Soviet hockey players down there, so it looks like they do have 20 for this third period, and that, of course, is very important. The extra 2 men could make a big difference. Andy Moog could face all the more pressure. They come to center ice. Linsman on the draw. He's had quite a battle. He's lost many of those face-offs to Larionov. The puck is behind the Edmonton net for Jackson. Jackson getting it up to Dave Hunter. He snaps it down into the Soviet zone. Over on the boards, nobody out in front for that fast relay coming out. Oilers coming out with hustle, looking as though they want to extend that lead. They saw the momentum that Kapustin's goal gave the Soviets the final 6 minutes of that second period. After the Oilers had dominated almost completely. Down on a trip by Larionov goes an Edmonton player. No penalty called, play going right on. In the corner, shot up the boards, and finally to center ice for Larionov again. He is all over the ice for the Soviet Union. Brings it across the red line. Larionov closing right in, dumps it in front, the relay. Maltsev did not get much on that. Handled by Andy Moog. Wide open play right now. Remember, just a 1-goal lead for the Oilers. The Soviets tend to have very strong third periods as a rule. Here's Gretzky breaking on against Kapustin. Being forced onto the right side, Gretzky works his way free. Fans calling for a penalty, none is forthcoming, and the Soviets break on. It is 2-on-2. Kapustin's shot is blocked, drifts wide. Moog will cover up and force a face-off. The fans thought Gretzky had been interfered with.
Wayne Gretzky, as he gets older, he gets stronger. Kapustin, number 8. Look at Gretzky, fight him off.
Although they have a couple of top players back home with injury, and a couple because they have not been playing too well. Maybe exhibition games, but it's serious business for the Soviets. In front, a chance to tie it. Here's the shot, blocked as Moog was down, and number 22, Charlie Huddy, was there to fill that hole in the net as the Soviets almost tied it up right there. Curry flips it ahead down the ice. Into the 3rd minute of this third period, 2-1 for Edmonton. A break for Lumley, a shot and a fine save by Mishkin.
Close call, Edmonton, who have been sagging as of late, get an opportunity, a mistake by the Soviets, and Lumley capitalizes. Here the Soviets coming out to check. Good offensive, or good forechecking, excuse me. Lumley takes the shot, it's a little high. Mishkin making the save.
From Mishkin's work, the Soviets really have not missed Tretiak in this game. Here's Messier shooting it wide into the Soviet corner for Glenn Anderson. He was skated off the puck. Now the Soviets break out of there. Coming up to the center ice area. They bring it in. Slap shot stopped by Bykov, was weak, and Moog covers up very easily.
Andy Moog is not going to make the mistake of leaving a loose puck.
UCLA Bruins take on the Michigan Wolverines. The all-time classic bowl game, the Rose Bowl, New Year's Day, 4:30 Eastern Time on CTV. Soviets break quickly once again. The shot just wide. Moog way out of position there, and the drive from Sportsov. Larry Boschman shoots it down to the Soviet zone. Goes in after it. Icing call against the Edmonton Oilers. They'll bring it all the way back. But those chances not coming as frequently now as the Soviets traditionally play well in the closing 20 minutes of any international hockey game. This is Coffey for Hughes. Relay by Hughes just inside the blue line. Linsman can't relay it down there. Here is Maltsev breaking through, tied up nicely. Good coverage by Charlie Huddy, and now Coffey coming back with it for the Oilers. Inside the blue line, it is called to the offside.
Take a close look at Charlie Huddy. One of the reasons that the Edmonton Oilers have only allowed the Soviet Union 1 goal.
Anderson and Gretzky have scored for Edmonton, Kapustin for the Soviet Union. The Oilers have never been behind, but fight now to hold this slender one-goal lead. And Coffey did a good job right there, getting back against number 9, Krutov. Here's a shot blocked from the stick of Dave Hunter. Hunter in behind the goal, dumping it in front. Nicely blocked for the Soviet defense, and smartly they send away Krutov at center ice. He dropped it back too far. Lindsman now trying to feed Hunter. Can't get the puck to him. Maltsev, right side for Krutov. His shot away wide off the glass. Shot down the ice. They will indicate icing now as the puck will be touched for the Soviet skater Kazatanov. Face off again. Back in the Edmonton zone. Bring on number 99, Wayne Gretzky. He wins it easily to Lowe. Good board coverage by the Soviets contains the Oilers, but now Gretzky has it in center ice. Perbukin, Kapustin. Too far at center ice. LaRiviere with it for Gretzky. Gretzky passing behind Semenko. Lowe driving it down to the Soviet corner. In behind. Perbukin works it up the right side. Shepelev across to Shelimo. Shelimo's shot handled by Mold. Fine, hard drive, and Mold reacted beautifully.
It seems like the Soviets are just starting to take the play over here now. I don't think Edmonton can keep the pace up that the Soviets are displaying out there.
We see Wayne Gretzky shoot it in. The end result, Shepelev right there as he tries to use the defense as a screen, lets the shot go. Andy Moog hangs on.
13:42 remaining. Boschman, he wins the face-off. So the Oilers have a decided edge in that department tonight, except for Larionov, the Soviet center, who's won the majority of his from Lindsman. Now here is Gretzky trying to set up Curry. Back to the stick of Gretzky. On the point for Randy Gregg. Gregg couldn't get a strong enough shot away, and the Soviets come back. Good lead pass, closing in, they score, number 29, Alexander Kochevenkov. And it's a 2-2 hockey game.
Kochevenkov gets in behind the Oiler defense and finishes off the play. They break quickly. Kochevenkov right there as he gets in behind Randy Gregg and blasts a hard slap shot to the right of Andy Moog. And they've tied the score at 2 apiece as we look again. Kochevenkov, quick release in the net behind Moog, and it's 2-2, and the shots are now 24 apiece.
And the pendulum begins to swing the other way. Oilers under pressure now to get this lead back. They have controlled the score and the game to this point. And now the Soviets have pulled even. The goal by Alexander Kochevenkov. Near the 7-minute mark of this third and final period. Coffey cannot control a bouncing puck. Soviets coming away at center ice once again. Krutov skated off on the right board. Hunter getting it ahead. Hughes over the blue line. Has Coffey with him. Dumps it in front. Coffey gone too far. The grasp of Soviet player. Lindsman right in front of the goal. Bouncing puck. Couldn't get a stick on it. Over Lindsman's stick to the right point for Huddy. Now Lindsman again. Digs it in front for Hughes. Couldn't get the pass to him. Soviets coming out down. A 2-2 tie. Maltsev taken down by Hunter. Kazatanov across the left side. Fetisov shot high and hard off the glass behind Moog. Mark Messier streaking away on the right side. Cutting inside of the corner, dumping it out. Good block made by number 14, Vidyaletnov. Here comes the Soviet team again. The speedy Kapustin digs it over on the right side. Shalimov had it poked off his stick just in time. Shalimov in the corner against Lowe. Trying to freeze him there and get a face-off. It is kicked free. Now Riviere. Right side for Anderson. Rink wide for Messier. Messier closing it. Oh! Oilers regain the lead.
Messier, who had a chance earlier, slips it in the short side. Here he comes from a bad angle. He has no options. He lets it go from a bad angle and hit goaltender Mishkin and deflected into the net. Let's look again at the shot right there.
As you can see, Mushkin never had his pad there again right against the post, and consequently it just happened to go in there.
Take a look as Joe Watson described.
He comes around here. He doesn't have his pad right against the post, as you can see, and it just barely slips in there.
He left about the width of a puck, and that's all Messier had for his third point tonight. Gives Edmonton a 3-2 lead now. 11 minutes to play in the game. Interception by the Soviets at the Oiler blue line. Jackson, good defensive coverage. Cemento bumped from behind, but got it back to center ice. Messier from Anderson and LaRiviere at 8:35 has given the Oilers the lead back at 3-2. Timonev now closing in. Jackson there to intercept. Right side, Cemento, left wing back. Gretzky winding from Michigan. He felt all the force of that blast from Wayne Gretzky. Behind the goal, Gretzky in a pile-up, digs it back to an open spot. The Soviets coming up with it. Alexander Schwartzov skated on. Here's a break for Gretzky. Alone, takes it, shoots it. It's still loose. Let a soft shot go that Michigan couldn't find for a moment. The tired Gretzky skates to the Oiler bench. Kojuvenikov with Maltsev. Maltsev lost the puck to Huddy. Right wing. Babinoff rides him off in behind. They maintain possession with Rory Boschman. Boschman back. Kuzar. Soviet player down on the play. An open wing, and the Soviets dig it free with Alexander Maltsev. Against Coffey, he skated on. Boschman, too far for Lumley. Icing called against the Oilers with 9:17 to play. A while ago by Messier has given new life to the Edmonton Oilers, who were sagging.
Let's look again. Mark Messier, as he crosses the blue line with good speed, gains control of the puck, and right along the ice, you can see the puck in behind goaltender Mishkin off his right skate, deflecting into the net.
Good tip for minor hockey goalies. Make sure your pad is right tight against that post.
And
you got a sharp shooter like Messier, it'll be behind you. Shot from the point by Fedosov, drips wide, and the Oilers shoot it back down near the Soviet blue line. Lindsman taking it away from Maltsev for Hughes. Fedosov lets it roll to his goalie, Michigan. He's down to cover up. 9:01 remaining.
As the Edmonton Oilers put pressure on the Soviets.
That's probably one of the few times you've seen an Edmonton Oiler tied up in front of the net by the Russians.
Here's Gretzky. Over to the right point now. Drops it there, fed back for Messier. Messier with the Oiler third goal a moment or two ago. Has it bounce off the stick in the corner. Drives it around for Paul Coffey. Coffey bumped by Kapustin. Makes his pass. Held in by Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky quickly flipping it to Messier. Now out of the point again for Coffey. Gretzky, Anderson, they can't poke it home. Coffey shot, rolling, kicked in, it's goal, 2 Oilers. Gretzky gets his second goal.
The Edmonton Oilers take advantage of the power play situation. Kasatonov holding penalty, an expensive one to the Soviets. There's Coffey's shot, partially blocked. Mishkin missed it, and Wayne Gretzky slides it across the goal line. Coffey keeps the puck in. He moves in quickly and lets go a wrist shot. It's partially blocked, and Gretzky finishes the play 4-2 now for the Edmonton Oilers.
What happened in that goal there, the Russians had 2 forwards up here center ice waiting for the break. Consequently, they were outmanned in their zone.
They keep coming at them. Let's take another look at Coffey's shot. blocked in front of Mishkin by number 5, Pervukin, and Gretzky finished the play off.
Gretzky with a power play goal and a big one to give the Oilers a 2-goal lead. Coffey gets the assist, the 12-minute mark. 4-2, but here come the Soviets once again. Always dangerous is Kochevenikov. Still has it, shoots. Mold makes the stop line, his chest protected, and hangs on.
It would be a big mistake by Edmonton to allow the Soviet Union.
5:32 left. Linsman on the draw. Soviets maintain possession. Maltsev. Krutov in the corner with it. Maltsev lost possession, circling in front. And this is Dave Hunter for the punt. In behind the goal. Linsman right in front for Hunter. Skated off smartly by Fedosov. Back come the Soviets. Larionov, quick drop pass and a shot by number 9, Krutov, and it's blocked again by Andy Moog. And I'll tell you, he's had to be very, very strong and has in this closing period. Moog.
Let's watch the Soviet Union as they close in. Charlie Huddy after the puck. Larionov. There's the shot by number 9, Krutov, a good one. Andy Moog holds his ground, playing his angles well in this hockey game. Andy Moog has had a lot of shots.
Notice the Russians,
tough angles. Go ahead, Joe.
Seem to attack from the same side. The Russians always seem to attack the right side coming in. They really do. They favor that side a lot.
Shelimov scores. It's slipped right through. Perhaps number 21, Shepelev, got his stick on it to deflect it. But a weak shot caught him off balance, and the goal is going to go to Sergei Shepelev, number 21.
Right from the face-off, 21, Shepelev gets the draw, heads for the front of the net. Charlie Huddy, number 22, sees him, but it's too late as he tips the puck between the legs of Andy Moog. Face-off, so important in your own end of the ice. There's the shot. There's the tip. As the
Soviet line with 4:39 remaining now. Not a hard shot, just redirected. Right on target by Shepelev, number 21.
One of the toughest things any goaltender will tell you, one of the toughest stops to make is a redirected shot right in front of him.
Abscheid won the draw. Anderson shot it in, but the Soviets promptly bring it back out again. Coffey behind his own goal for Messier. Messier's figured in 3 of the 4 Oiler goals tonight. Has scored 1. Gretzky has 2. Anderson has the other. Sportsoff ridden off by Coffey smartly in behind. Anderson now with his stick on it, passing it ahead to Messier. Anderson, right wing. Shooting, blocked by the Soviet player, Gamayev. 3 minutes and 48 seconds to go now. 4-3, Oilers lead the Soviets. Hard shot blocked by Mold from Zlutkov. Play opening up a little better now for Gretzky at center ice. Across the line, Gretzky fading off left. Hanging tough in there against the Soviet player Kazatanov. Finally goes down. Hops over a stick out in front. The dangerous Larionov now inside the blue line. Quick shot, Maltsev, rebound, Larionov shot wide. Still inside that blue line. Finally to center ice. On the stick of Curry with Gretzky. Sets him up. Oh, just missed it in front. Now 3 minutes to play on the hockey game. Maltsev against Jackson. Jackson kicks it free to a teammate in behind. That is Yari Curry. Curry digging it out to center ice. Russians, as Joe said, tend to favor their attacks on the right side. Quite often bring it in that way to the Oilers' zone. Right out again it comes. Over 2 lines. That pass from number 21, Randy Gregg. The faceoff will come just inside the Edmonton blue line. 2 minutes and 38 seconds to play.
Looks up at the clock and sees 1 minute and 51 seconds. has to do some fast moving. But
I would suggest in his case, from past experience, later than earlier. May not do it too quickly. Messier in the face-off, still loose in there. Weak backhand shot by Gamayev rolls wide. Oilers with a 4-3 lead. Soviets pressing. Kochevenikov shot it wide. Dumped right in front again on Huddy's stick for Messier. Minute and a half remaining. Here's Messier. Backhands it into the Soviet zone. Gamayev right in front of his own net for Babinov. Up now to Sportsov. Left there, the shot gloved by Moog with 1:15 to play.
the last two important face-offs, the Edmonton Oilers in their own end of the ice have not been able to win them. One resulted in a goal.
Sheffield gets some excellent chances, and Andy Moog has stood his ground very well.
Well, our telecast crew is going to pick the Labatt's players of the game one each way, and I can tell you this much, whichever way it goes, and rightly so in a game like this, it'll be a split decision both ways. But that can be done.
I believe that's Aggie Kukowicz over there, who I think is responsible for bringing the Russians over on numerous occasions, explaining things to them.
Responsible largely for that, too, explaining things to them, as he is right there to the satisfaction of the Soviet.
He was very patient, as was Tikhonov, the coach, this morning when the team skated, spent a long time talking to the press.
I'm just looking down here at the Russian bench right now, and I don't think the coach doesn't seem to be too worried about the goaltender, and I don't know whether he's going to pull him or what. He hasn't looked over his goaltender yet.
You know, the officials aren't calling too much when you see only one swan dive all evening, and it's by Wayne Gretzky, not by a Soviet player. A minute to play now. Third and final period. Soviet break left side. Dug back for Larionov, and a super save by Moog. A drive labeled for the left corner, and Moog reached out and spared it.
Larionov, a blast, and Moog, a fine save. A quick break by the Soviets. There's the drop pass, number 11. Larionov blasts it, and by the Soviets at this point in the game. There's the drop. Krutov to Larionov.
Andy Moog certainly had good position in that shot.
So that timeout they call led to a lapse right there. There was almost a costly one for them. Oilers cling to a 4-3 lead. 50 seconds left. Still no motion by Tikhonov to pull his goalie Mishkin. As I said, it'll happen later rather than earlier, if at all, on the Soviet team.
Lou Nanny just signaling to me that they never pull him.
Not very often, certainly. No indication it'll happen here tonight. Huddy with it. Gets it to the line, but it's held in. 32 seconds left. Soviets swarming around for the equalizer. That gets it down the ice and takes some pressure off the Oilers. 25 seconds left now. The stick of Lindsman. Back to the Soviet zone it goes. Mishkin won't hang on here unless he has to. Lets it go in the corner to Hughes. Now Hunter. They jam it up in there, wasting valuable time. 10 seconds to go. Soviets looking for one last break. Shoot it down the ice too far. That could be it. However, Moog will touch the puck, and that'll negate the icing. 1 second to go. It's all over. The Oilers have beaten the Soviets by a score of 4-3 here at the Northlands Coliseum.
I certainly don't understand it. I couldn't believe the Russians had the face-off in the Oilers zone the last 50 seconds. They never pulled a goalie. I guess it's their method. They don't believe in it.